If you get a cannoli and you squeeze the middle of it, and it doesn't just pop,
Right.
put it down. Walk
Put
away.
it down.
It's not even worth the calories.
If they don't fill the inside, the middle, you know right there.
It's a rubber biscuit.
All right, welcome to the Chazz Palminteri Show. It's 11 o'clock on Monday, and we got a great guest today for you today. But before I bring him out, I want to remind you, if you want to come and see my one-man show, the show that was a hit on Broadway, also won Best Show of the Year in Las Vegas by the Las Vegas Journal, A Bronx Tale, the original one-man show. It was before the movie, before the musical. That's what Robert De Niro saw. That's how the movie got made. Go to ChazzPalminteri.net. John, where am I going to be, John?
August 29th, you're going to be in Riverhead, New York at the Suffolk Theater. September 14th, you're going to be in Munhall, Pennsylvania at the Carnegie Homestead Music Hall. September 25th, you're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Schermerhorn Theater. And September 27th, you're going to be in New Buffalo, Michigan at the Silver Creek Four Winds Casino.
That's right. Also, don't forget my restaurants. I got two of the top Italian restaurants in the country. Chazz Palminteri's on 30 West 46th Street, and Chazz Palminteri's 264 Main Street. And don't forget my cigar, the Bronx Tale cigar, one of the top 10 cigars in the world. Look it up, folks. Cigar Enthusiast came in number 7. Also, my wine, listen to me, I sound like a used car salesman. My wine, Chazz Palminteri Cabernet wine. Folks, I'm very excited to have. I've been trying to get this guy on for a year now.
You sound like a star, by the way.
You
sound like a star.
I sound like a star.
Listen, Gene Simmons, one of the richest guys in the world.
Yes.
What did he do with Kiss? He put it everywhere.
He did?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
As long as you don't have a Chazz Palminteri casket, we're good.
We're good.
You're ahead of the game.
Look, I mean, this is a great guy. Obviously, you know him, but I got introduced to him on America's Got Talent. And he exploded on the scene on America's Got Talent. I said, who is this guy? Holy shit. That's the first time I heard him. That's the first time I saw him. We became friends. He has done so much. He's going to tell us about it. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Sal Valentinetti.
Yeah.
But the world knows him as Sal The Voice.
How you doing, Chazz?
Sal. Sal The Voice. I mean, that's a hell of a name.
Well, I used to hang out, down by this cafe. There was a lot of guys who would hang around there, and everyone, had a nickname just because I didn't go to school with any other Sals, right?
Right.
But when I went to the cafe, there were 3 or 4 other Salvatores.
Of course, yeah.
And everyone had a nickname.
Everybody had a nickname.
So they called me The Voice. And that kind of stuck. Oh, it's The Voice, And when I was on America's Got Talent, my Instagram handle was very long. It was a mouthful, Sal Valentinetti. And they go, listen, we'll let you keep your last name, but do you have a nickname, anything? I was like, well, people call me Sal. They said, that's already taken.
Right.
And that's when it became Sal The Voice.
Sal The Voice.
That's when I was introduced to the world.
They used to call Sinatra The Voice.
Yeah. So I hear.
That's right. I know that because I knew Frank very well.
Yeah.
So that's a hell of a compliment. Somebody calls you.
It's a tremendous honor.
Somebody says The Voice. You better have a damn good voice.
Yeah.
Like, what was it like doing America's Got Talent?
It was great. It was a great experience. Think about it. It's like going on a game show and literally having your life change forever. There's some people say when you go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and $1 million is life-changing money, and of course it is. But validation and self-realization.
People knew who you were after that show.
Besides that, I knew who I was after that. I knew this is what I wanted to do forever after that show. I really didn't have a lot of faith in it before then.
So that show just gave you an incredible amount of confidence.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I had to have some level of confidence going in.
Yes, of course.
But as far as really being proud of what I was doing and the direction I was heading, that show is what did it for me.
Well, now, who was that actress that just fawned all over you?
Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum. Now, let's be honest, Sal.
Yeah.
she was all over you.
Let me tell you, Heidi Klum, she's hot to trot. She's out
Hot
there.
to trot.
And
She's gorgeous.
And she lets you know. You know?
Yeah.
She'll come. She's not coy.
Yeah,
you know?
I can see that. I was saying, check out Heidi Klum over here, all over Sal The Voice.
She's the type of lady who can get what she wants. She's got a 31 or 32-year-old husband now. You know, she definitely goes for it.
She goes for it.
And I tell you, I wasn't expecting to feel it so much reciprocated.
Yes.
And I said, I got to run with it.
You got to run with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So after that show, you would say that show, people started recognizing you then.
Sure.
Right?
I couldn't go anywhere.
That's a big show.
I remember I had to go to the mall for a pair of sneakers.
Right.
I was going on a trip. I needed a nice pair of sneakers. So I took my friend with me to the mall.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it past the food court at the Roosevelt Field Mall.
Now, were you married then? When you
I
did
wasn't.
It? You wasn't.
I wasn't.
Oh, so that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now, if you weren't married and you had a good time, you and Heidi, I don't want to say anything.
Oh, I don't kiss and tell, Chazz.
Exactly. I'm trying to get an answer here
How
out
you
of
doing?
this guy. But you could see how becoming famous, how it changes you.
It definitely changes a lot of things in your life.
I mean, it changes some things, but everything still. The scary part is everything still stays the same.
Yeah. Well, you have a choice.
Yes.
You know, you could keep things constant. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
When you're all over the world, it's. I think it's almost easier to keep who you are when you come from where we come from.
Yeah.
You know, we're very proud people. We're
Very
proud of our
proud.
roots. We're proud of our beginnings.
You were born in Brooklyn?
No, I was born on Long Island.
You live in Brooklyn now?
No, I live on Long Island.
Where in Long Island?
I grew up in Bethpage, and now I live West Islip. Yeah.
West Islip.
West Islip.
You know who else lives around in West Islip? Sandy Blue Eyes.
He sure does.
Sandy Blue Eyes.
So speaking of which,
Yes.
I called our friend today because I wanted to see if he was going to be here.
Yes.
And when I learned he wasn't, we spent 2 hours on the phone catching up. All right?
Right.
I love Sandy.
Sandy's he's a classic.
He really is. But let me tell you,
Right.
this is how a lot of people know. So one of the things Sandy and I talked about was how he has such a gratitude for being, you talk about recognizable.
Yes.
You know, he's all over the place and people are pulling him aside for pictures here and there.
Exactly.
He can't go 10 feet with his girl without someone stopping him and saying, you know, can you take a photo?
Right.
But what people, and people all know that he's a classy guy.
Yes,
he's
he
a
is.
stand-up guy. He's a great dresser. He's a great friend. What they don't know is how big of a heart Sandy Blue Eyes has. And that's why I brought this. Every Christmas, I get a card from Sandy Blue Eyes. And it's not just any card because there's always a personal
Yes.
message written down. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
As much as Sandy Blue Eyes has going on in his life, his heart is still big enough for all his friends.
Yes.
And-
He's very much knows everyone's birthday.
Yeah, he does. He knows birthdays.
Just shout out a
That's
name
right.
to him. He'll tell you the birth. Paul Anka, September 25th. Paul McCarthy, 12th. He'll know everybody's birthday.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does that, but he does.
Well, he's just a very thoughtful guy. And
Right.
Sandy really is one of those guys,
Right.
one of those local neighborhood type guys
Right.
who inspires you to stay humble.
Yes.
You know, we were talking about before how sometimes fame can change who you are.
Yeah. No, I'm the same guy before I became famous.
It changes the way you look at things for sure.
It changes the way you look at things in a way. It changes your outside world, but it doesn't change your inside world.
Yeah.
You know, your inside world, you have to deal with that, whether you're happy or sad or a good guy or a bad guy.
Yeah.
The outside world, you get drive a nicer car, you build a bigger house, and that's nice, but that doesn't make you happy. It doesn't.
No.
You know, people always go, the guy became famous, he's an asshole. And I always say, nah, you're wrong. He was always an asshole, now he's just a famous asshole.
Yeah, not just everybody knows about it.
Not just everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up,
Mhm.
I have to say, did you want to be a singer? Did you want to be an actor? Did you want to?
I loved film and television.
Yeah.
I loved music.
Right.
You know, when I was a kid, my grandmother used to play WHLI, which is the hits of a lifetime,
Right.
on a little 8-track radio
Right.
in the corner of a kitchen.
Right.
And we would listen to, big band swing music, the
Right.
standards,
Oh.
for hours some days. That's when I fell in love with the music. And then just the whole scene of it, watching guys like Dean Martin do shows. Kevin Spacey did a film, Beyond the Sea,
Beyond the Sea.
where he walked us through Bobby Darin's
Yeah.
life. Seeing that film and everything, I was like, wow, that's awesome. I
Do you
want
wanna
to do that.
Do you want to do acting one day? Do you want to do it?
Sure, I would love to.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love to. I've asked you about it a couple times,
Right.
and I remember you saying, you gotta show up. You gotta put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
The more you put yourself out there, the more doing things like this.
Yeah, we were talking about Dante, and I were talking about in the kitchen.
Yeah.
About how, now we're out there doing videos for social media and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because I love food. And I said, well, I love food, and I really need. My sister keeps telling me I got to post more on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So
That's really everything.
and I'm so jealous of these people who are eating all these great spreads, right?
Right.
They're not paying for a dime of it.
Not paying for a dime.
So I'm like, boy, that's my jam. No, I love food, and once I started doing it and putting myself out there, then
Right.
inquiries started coming in for things, like television and film and stuff like that. So I realized as soon as I just started putting myself out there, even just a little bit, it started coming back.
But you did more than that. What you did was, is it okay to talk about you losing weight?
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to be sure,
I ain't on the O.
For those of you who don't know, when I saw Sal's Instagram once, Sal, how heavy were you?
I was up to 350 pounds at my heaviest. Yeah.
350.
350.
I mean, he was a big guy.
Yeah.
You were big. I mean,
You know what the trouble is? I was good looking. When you're big and good looking, you think,
I
I don't
gotta
gotta lose any
say,
weight.
you were good looking. I said, son of a bitch.
You know what's so funny? So I'm wearing a pair of blue
Right.
slacks, right? So I'm in my closet, but before I came over here, and I picked up a pair of blue slacks. I take them off the hanger, and they just kept going.
Right.
I said, "Whose are these?"
Right.
Oh yeah, these are mine.
So you lost what, 150 pounds?
Yeah, January 31st of 2023, I got the gastric sleeve surgery.
Yeah.
They remove 80% of your stomach laparoscopically, and you follow a diet for a few months. You exercise, and then as you start to lose weight very quickly, exercising becomes easier, and you start doing things that weren't a part of your life for so long, and your entire life changes when you lose that dramatic amount of weight.
You couldn't. Could you have done it on your own, or you couldn't do it?
I've lost since I'm 18 years old. So since my first attempt at weight loss, and there'd been several attempts. So I'm adding all this in. I lost over 200 pounds. Over 200 pounds I've lost. So I've lost 50 pounds and gained it back plus tax. And then I lost 80 pounds and gained it back plus tax. And I lost 100 pounds and gained it back plus tax. And that always, every time you gain more weight than you've lost, and then do it again and then gain back more weight than you've lost.
Right.
It has a very taxing and lasting effect on your body.
Wow. Yeah.
And I had just reached the limit of that, I think.
You said, that's it. I can't do it no more.
So when I met my wife, she had just lost her father. Her father was a very heavy guy, but a very personable guy, a guy that people always tell stories about. A kind of guy that you could miss without even meeting him. He was a big player at the Parkside Restaurant in Corona.
I know where it is.
Yeah. Matter of fact, his mural's on the wall in the parking lot. He's the heavyset guy all the way to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cited several times as the owner of the place in the vestibule, Joseph Oliva. And his first apartment was the Marilyn Monroe room. He's a legendary type guy.
Right.
You know what breaks my heart the most? More than seeing my wife every time she thinks about, her father, and every time she sees someone's father walking them down the aisle or something like that.
Right.
What breaks my heart even more than that is I can't introduce you to this guy. this guy's a legend.
Right.
And I can't sit down and have him tell you stories and
Wow.
about this and that and about Tough Tony and about all that what happened.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what breaks my heart the most. So I didn't want my wife to ever have to go through that again. And I had high blood pressure, you know, especially we live very fast-paced lives. We're doing
True.
a lot of traveling.
True.
We're on the road a lot. You know,
You could only do that for so long.
yeah, we're out getting sick every winter with
Yeah.
whatever people are coming on the plane with, and
Yeah.
you can only do that for so long. I was
Yes.
27 years old with high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and then come to find out just before the surgery, type 2 diabetes. So I was facing down the barrel of
This is
the
it.
consequences.
This is your choice right here.
And
This is a moment, folks. And I like this because it's good for the people out there.
well, it's not very easy.
You know, I'm not saying it is. You were 27. This is it.
Well, it's a different kind. I hate to say this because drugs are so hardcore, and that really
They
is
say
a
food
disease.
is harder than drugs.
When you're addicted to food, when you're using food as a way
Right.
to, you know, pacify yourself in any sort of nature, it's beyond that, and it's
Right.
hard to quit because, A, it's so easy to get.
Right.
I mean,
And
you know,
it's there.
what do they say? 40% or so of America gets their dinner tonight through a window in a building.
Yeah.
You know, it's everywhere.
Right.
So it was very, very hard. I had done it on my own several times, and this was a tool, really almost like a last ditch effort. And I'm very glad with the results. I've changed my life completely. I
Your blood
exercise
pressure's
regularly.
okay.
My blood pressure is
No
great.
diabetes.
Yeah, I absolved myself of type 2 diabetes within the first 8 weeks of coming off of surgery. I went for blood work, and they said, your A1C is back under 6. It had been over 9.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. At 27 years old, no one should be living like that.
No, you're not making it till 50, that's for sure.
That's exactly what I was going through. I said, I'm going to do this to my kids?
Yeah, yeah.
No way. No way. And besides, just the feeling of it all. I get so emotional now when I see very big people. You know, almost like Richard Simmons, rest in peace. He used to say, I cry when I see big people because I want to help them. Not because I want to help them, because I know how they feel now. I never realized how different you get treated over a certain weight until I was, you know, normal, skinny.
So you would recommend the sleeve for anyone?
Oh, sure. It's a great, but it's surgery. You got to be ready for it. You know, I was ready for it because I had so many reasons to do it.
So you could only eat so much and then you can't eat anymore.
I eat till I get full. How about that? I don't think I've ever been full in my life, ever. I think it's something that my grandmother, my mother, like ingrained in my head.
Right.
Was you got to finish that.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
until you finish that, you're not full.
Wow.
Right. But now I get full. A couple more things. I can't eat and drink at the same time. That's one that drives people nuts. Really does.
No, I don't.
You don't drink it. See, I think it's a great thing to do.
I don't because I know it's not good for you.
It's not.
It's not. You dilute all the acid in your body and you can't digest the food.
Right. You got to give yourself a chance.
People go, how could you not drink? I go, no, I never drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I take it a step further, right? So the surgery, they say, you know, you should wait like 20 or 30 minutes. So this drives my wife absolutely nuts whenever we go to a restaurant.
Right.
Anything to drink for you, sir? No, thank you. Water? No, thank you. You sure you don't want water? I'm like, yeah. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
My wife's kicking me under the table.
Right.
Just get the water. Just have them put
Oh,
the water
it
on the
there,
table.
you can. She's right.
Yeah, is she right? Am I being a pain in the ass?
No, you can have it there. Just don't drink it.
You know, I used to work at a pizzeria, right?
Right.
And the vegans would come in and they'd be a pain in the ass. They'd ask 100 questions about everything on the menu.
Right,
I feel like
right,
it's the
right,
wrong
right.
type of restaurant to go,
Right.
right? So I'm like, you know, if I want to be a little bit of a pain in the ass, sure, I earned it,
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't want the water now. That's not a big pain in the ass.
right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But
But my wife thinks I'm a tremendous pain in the ass. But I think that's her job.
that's her job. Now, how
Yeah.
long are you married now?
A year, a little over a year.
You happy?
I'm tremendously happy. She's the best.
She's the best.
I didn't realize how much of a wild animal I was until I married
I think I
a
met
beautiful
her. Yes,
woman.
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, you did. Jana.
Jana.
Yeah.
That's right. My wife's name.
Yeah. I realize now that I'm Curious George and she's man in a yellow hat. You know,
Right.
she's always trying to rein me in, trying to class me up. It really, she makes a big difference in my life, and she's a hell of a woman.
Well, either a wife makes you a better man listen, that's the biggest decision of your life.
Yeah.
The person you pick to be your mate for the rest of your life, boy, you better make sure you know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. You better be crazy about this person.
Otherwise, because you got to start off at least crazy.
Yes.
Because it's going to go down.
Yes.
It will. I mean, people laugh.
You think so?
Well, you start out at a 10. I can't live without you. And then after about 10 years, 5, 7, 8 years, you go, hey,
you asked me this question
don't break
before.
My balls. Don't break my balls.
You asked me this question before, so I'm going to ask you. Are you sure you want to talk about this?
No, because my wife gets mad at me.
I might get murdered off of this.
No, I love, listen, I'm married 32 years. I love my wife. But you can't have that thing you had in the very first year. I don't know anybody who has that. I mean, that's, it changes, but it evolves to a different love, which is still great.
It becomes, more of a caring for each other type of thing, and
Right.
team. I realize that though, because we also just bought a house, and when you do something that big and that significant, you realize how much of a you're more than just a couple. You're a team.
Yeah.
You're tackling life together. And that you're right. The relationship does
wait till you have
slightly
a child.
change. Yeah.
Then it really changes.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to make my wife a mother. I think
Yeah.
she'd be so great at it.
See, you're like, you remind me of my son, Dante. You're like, you were born in a different time. You should have been like,
Old soul.
An old soul, the Frank Sinatra era, the Rat Pack era. You have that mentality like that. You don't have that, like, just that thing of the guys that have today, I could tell. You just have that old school era, which is good.
Yeah, it's just the way I was raised, the way I was brought up,
You got any brothers and sisters?
I got a little sister. We call her Poor Liz.
And how old is she?
She's 25.
She's
my baby
25.
sister, yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's proud of you, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is. When she decides to be.
When she's
She's over it, I think, Chazz.
yeah, like
Yeah.
my sisters. Are
But
over.
you could tell she's proud of it because she'll still make suggestions.
Right.
Ramping up my social media. That was really her push.
Well, the young ones, they know.
Yeah, she knows.
My son is the one who helped me with my social media. He told me, Dad, you got to get somebody to work on this with you.
Yeah.
You got to pay somebody, Dad. And he was right. And I got the guys, and they're doing a great job, man.
Well, my sister takes all the credit now, though.
But she takes all the credit.
100%. 100%. I always thought, wow, maybe my sister and my mother aren't so much alike.
Now, where are the places you like performing a lot, Sal?
Oh, we love the Paramount.
Paramount in Long Island.
It's my hometown venue. It's my favorite venue.
My favorite. You know what's funny? You said mine too.
Yeah. I'm doing something in December really special there. We're doing a show with cocktail seating. I've been wanting to do this since my first time at the Paramount. Was my first venue
Yeah.
I ever played.
Wow.
My first publicly sold show.
Yeah.
It was December of 2016 after America's Got Talent.
Right.
And, the Doyles.
The Doyles are the best.
Yeah. The whole staff over there,
Oh,
they really make you feel at home.
yeah. For those of you who
Yeah.
don't know exactly where we're talking about the Paramount Theater in Huntington, New York.
Yes.
One of the great places to see a show.
It really is.
Not just saying that's Sal's show or my show, any show. Check it out. They have great acts, great comics, great musical entertainers. It's really, really,
I mean, it's an excellent venue to see music.
yes.
But I saw your show there.
Yeah.
And, obviously, the show itself, tremendous.
Right.
But even just having the stage elevated
Yeah.
a little more than normally would, makes such a difference.
And they have the big bar on the left, around the side, and then
Two
downstairs.
bars, bar upstairs, bar
Right,
downstairs.
downstairs they have the it's a speakeasy. Guys, it's a
every
great
time-
place to go on a date. Go to
It
the
is.
Paramount.
Every time I sign that deal, I kick myself for not taking a piece of the bar. I always
Oh.
forget. Man, they're keeping these people drinking.
That place, it's a great, yeah.
And you're right, great food.
Great food.
You want to know that pizza's fantastic?
Great, I'm telling you.
They opened up that pizzeria next door.
Yeah,
And now you order a pizza. And I used to,
yeah,
I'm a Long Island guy.
right.
So I like a local pizzeria. I used to, before my shows, when I was a bigger boy, order Little Vincent's from across the street
right.
and get 2 slices with a cup of cold mozzarella,
Oh,
right?
my
Shredded
God.
mozzarella, right? And I would put the cold cheese on top of the hot slice.
Oh, God. Oh,
Little Vincent's, listen, Ella's is a great pizzeria. Go there after the show. But earlier in the day, stop by Little Vincent's.
It's right by
Unbelievable.
the.
Right across the street on the corner. Across the
Really?
street on the corner.
Yeah, all right.
Down and in. Very good.
I
Very
got to
good.
tell you, I give a shout out. Sal and Anthony brought over these cannolis.
Yeah,
And you
Fortunato
know me,
Brothers.
I'm very fanatical about my cannolis. And what is the name of the place?
Fortunato Brothers.
Well, we got to give them a shout out. Fortunato
yeah,
Brothers,
Williamsburg,
man.
my mother's neighborhood.
Fortunato Brothers, man. Your cannolis, absolutely incredible, tremendous.
Yeah, me and Biagio are like 5th cousins, I think.
Holy shit. Because usually when people bring over cannolis, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Because you know me, I love Jerome at Gino's Cannolis in the Bronx, my neighborhood.
Yeah.
But these cannolis, I got to tell you, man, they were great. They were
They're
great
out of
too.
this world. Very
Out of this
hard to
world.
do a cannoli right.
It's hard to do a cannoli right. We did a whole episode on it. My son talked about that. You got to fill the cannoli there.
On the spot.
On the spot, here, take it. If the cannolis are filled when you walk in, walk out.
Right. If you get a cannoli and you squeeze the middle of it and it doesn't just pop,
Right.
put it down. Walk
Put it
away.
down.
It's not even worth the calories.
If they don't fill the inside, the
Yeah.
middle, you know right there.
It's a rubber biscuit.
It's a rubber biscuit.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right, man. Now, after let me ask you a question. I just want to get a little timeline here.
Yes, sir.
After America's Got Talent,
Yeah.
you started performing all over.
Yeah. It took off pretty quickly.
So it
And-
just took right off.
And I started going to all the Italian American corners of this country
Right.
regularly with a stage show, and then just the amount of these one-off little
Right.
gigs where they fly you to paradise and
How many people in your band?
Well, it depends. Last night there were 5. There's as many as 17.
At 17.
Yeah.
Have you been to Las Vegas at all?
Sure. The bootlegger.
The Bootlegger.
The bootlegger.
They got good food there.
They
If
got
I'm
good
not-
food there.
Is it the Bootlegger? No, I'm thinking of another place.
Are you thinking of the Italian American Club?
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
food's
yeah.
good there.
I think that's next. I'm gonna try that one next. They told me the food was better.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Italian American Club
That's a
is
big
great.
deal for me. If you're gonna be a venue serving food, so we
Yeah.
were talking about the Suffolk Theater. You're gonna be at the Suffolk Theater in August. I'm gonna be there, by the way. I'm going.
Yes.
I already made a phone call to Gary. I'm already there.
Yeah, just let me know and I'll have seats for you. Don't worry about it.
I'm already there.
No.
I'm already there.
Please,
The phone
I
call
like
was
it.
made at 2:00 this afternoon.
all right,
It's
all right.
done. It's settled. I'm gonna see you there. They
Okay.
used to serve food there,
Yeah.
right? And I made sure that when we booked the place, right?
Yeah.
I took a ride out there because my parents got a place at East Moriches out there.
Right.
And I went out there and had a meal there. I said, okay, this is all right. But I'm going to perform at a place that
Yeah.
serves food. The food's got to be out of this world.
Right.
I'm doing Ron Onesti's Speakeasy
I'm doing that. Yeah. I've done that a bunch of times.
a few nights in September. And I said, Ron, how's the food?
And the food's good.
The food, it's...
Food's good.
So he brought me out there
Yeah.
in November.
Solid.
He flew me out there in November. He goes, come try the food.
Yeah. No, food's good.
It's unbelievable.
Food's real good. I've done Ron's place a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Stand-up guy. The food's always good. Now, before we close out, Sal, you got to tell me where you're going to be. Tell the audience you have us there.
Well,
Your website. Where could they go on your website?
SalTheVoiceNY.com. Sal The Voice on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or was it at X now? And
Right.
Breaking Bread Podcast with Anthony Sherrod is on YouTube.
Great.
It's a little thing that we do. Just like this, sit and have a conversation.
That's just like this, man.
This pals getting together.
That's what I love, man. That's what I love.
Yeah.
So they can go and see all your dates where you're going to be.
Sure, I'm going to be anywhere where Italian Americans live in this country. I'm going to be.
Well, Sal Valentinetti.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Sal Valentinetti, but also known as the great Sal The Voice. Sal, seriously, you're a gentleman. You're
an honor to be here with you.
Thank you
friend.
so much. You're a great guy, and not only a great talent, you're a great human being. To me, that's more important.
Thank you, Chazz.
God
You're the
bless.
best. You're the
All right,
best.
man.
God bless you, pal. Thank you.